Welcome back to this video tutorial. We can discuss about some string manipulation functions in this video. Okay, C supports a large number of string manipulation functions in its standard library called string.h. Okay, so C supports large number of string manipulation functions, and all these string manipulation functions comes under a standard library string.h. Okay, so we must include this header file before using our inbuilt string manipulation functions in our program. Okay, so keep this in mind. Use this particular header file or include this particular header file in your program before going to use various string manipulation functions in your program. So some such examples are strlen, strcpy, strcat, strcmp, strlwr and strupr. strlen is used for finding string length. It calculates or compute the string length of a given string. And this one is used for copying a string from source to destination. Copy from one string or one character array to another character array. String concatenation strcat is used for appending one string to the end of another string. Okay, it joins or concatenate two strings. That means to the end of first string it append the second string. That is strcat function. strcmp is used for comparing two strings and we can decide whether it is equal or not. Okay, strlwr is used for converting uppercase string representation into its lowercase form, and this is used for converting lowercase representation of a string into its uppercase form. Okay, now we can consider one after another in detail. The first of all about the strlen function. So this strlen function return an integer value. That integer value actually indicate the length of the given string. Okay, so we need to declare one integer variable in which we can store the returned string length by applying this strlen function. Okay, strlen of a given string that returns an integer value equal to the string length. That means here the string length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So after executing this strlen function, it returns an integer value 6 which is get loaded into this integer variable len. Okay, here we have a character array and here we store the string string and at the end it append a null character. Okay, here total this name type name character array having 20 bytes, but in which total 6 characters are stored, and at the end or at the 7th position it append a null character in order to indicate the end of this string. So this particular function strlen of this name this also returns the string length equal to 6. So that 6 value is loaded into this integer variable. Okay, so next is about strcpy function. This strcpy is copying a string. Here we have two character array, name1 with size 20 bytes in which we can store this string, and here we have another character array which is kept as uninitialized. So using this strcpy of name2 comma name1, the content of this name1 character array is copied into name2 character array also. So while displaying the content of name2, it again display the same value which is available in name1 array. Okay, so it copy content from this to this. This one act as the source and this one act as the destination. Okay, now we can consider the program example for these two string function strlen and strcpy. Okay, so Here we need to include this header file before starting our program, in which we need to use string manipulation function. Okay, now I am going to enter a character array name of 20. Okay, then we can give one command, printf enter your name. Okay, then using this gets function we can store that entered string into the character array name. After that we can find the length of the name using the function strlen of name. This is the syntax of using strlen function, but while executing this it returns an integer variable which is equal to the length of the string. So we need to declare one integer variable and that variable equal to strlen of name. Okay, now we can display this value, printf okay. For more clarity we can include like this, length of name is percentage t. Okay, now we can execute this. Enter your name. I'm going to enter my name. Okay, so length of the name is 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so it displays the length of the string, that means number of characters present in the string. Okay, now we can consider the usage of strcpy. For that I'm going to enter one more character array name 2 of 20, right, and I'm going to enter the first name, get to the name and is loaded into first array, and next going to use this function strcpy of name 2 comma name, sorry, name 2 comma name. This one acts as the source and this one acts as the destination. So content from this is loaded into this destination array. Okay, now we can display using this puts, we can display name 2. Okay, we can display here printf name is percentage s, that is equal to our name. Okay, now we can display printf copied name is okay. Now we can execute this. Going to enter my name is Namita and copied name as again the copied value that is now available in array name 2, which is again displayed here. Okay, so this is the usage of strcpy function. Okay, now we can consider this next string manipulation function, that is strcat, string concatenation function. Here we have one string character array which is initialized with value abcd, and second is initialized with value efgh. So while applying this strcat function, strcat of name1 comma name2, what will happen? To the end of this name1 array content, it append the content of name2, and the resultant final appended string, the final result is available back into this name1. Okay, ABC. So what is the expected output? A B C D E F G H. Okay, all together in a single string array and is available in this array in name one array. Okay, now we can check this. So here we have the two array. Okay, then printf enter two strings, right? Okay, gets name, again gets name 2, right? Two strings are read from our, sorry, two strings read from our keyboard. Now we can perform this strcat function, name comma name2. Then the two, the first one at the end of the first string, the second string get appended, and the final appended string available in this first string array, that is the character array name. The result is available here in this character array. So now we can display this. Printf is percentage as, sorry, we can use this is puts name, right? Now we can check the result. Okay, enter two strings. I'm going to enter first ABCD, second XYZ. Then result of the strcat is ABCD XYZ. Okay, the first string is displayed, and at the end of the first string the second string get appended, and the final result is available in our first character array itself. Okay, once more, now I'm going to change this one, strcat name2 comma name. What will be the expected result? The second string is displayed, and at the end of the second string the first get appended, and the result is available in this name2. Okay, so we want to display this one now. ABCD is the first string, EFGH is the second string. So result is EFGH. Second is first displayed, then at the end of the second string it appended the first string content ABCD, and the result is available here in this character array name2 itself. Okay, now we can consider the next type of string manipulation function, that is about the strcmp function. This function is used for comparing two strings. Okay, this compare two strings and returns an integer value, and the returned value become equal to 0 if both the strings are identical. Okay, if the two strings are not equal, then it returns non-zero value, sometimes a negative value or a positive integer. Okay, if both the comparing strings are equal, then it returns value 0, otherwise it returns non-zero values. So consider the case, this is the first string and this is the second string. Here start the comparison from MSB to LSB and perform a character wise, position wise comparison. Here these two are equal, here these two are also equal, here these two are equal, again these two are equal, and finally reach at null character, right? So we can conclude that these two strings are equal. That means the character wise comparison, the position wise comparison, at each position it returns the same 0 value, because all the characters at the corresponding positions are equal here, and whenever it reaches the last position, whenever it find or encounter a /0, that means the string end is encountered. Okay, in these two cases it encountered the /0 character at the same position, that is at this particular position. That means these two strings are equal, so it returns the value 0, right? So how it perform this comparison? The comparison is actually consider its ASCII character of this and ASCII character of this, and perform a subtraction. The first character's ASCII minus this character's ASCII. If they are equal, then it returns value 0. Then go to the next position. Here ASCII of this and ASCII of this are equal because they are both small letter b. So after subtracting the ASCII of this by this, then it returns a value 0 again. So go to the next location. Here the ASCII of this is equal and ASCII of this is equal. So after subtraction it again return value 0, and the same occurs or happened here also. And finally it reached to the /0 character here and here at the same time. That means these two strings are equal and it returns 0 at every position. So it returns finally a 0. Now consider this case. Here, while performing this subtraction, ASCII of this minus this returns 0. So move to next location. Here it is not null character. So perform the comparison. ASCII of this minus this again return 0. So move to next location. Here it is not null character. Here it is again not null character. So ASCII of this is less than ASCII of this because C comes before D in our sequence. So ASCII of C is less than ASCII of D. So by performing the subtraction, a smaller value minus a larger value, it returns a negative value. In that case, we can stop the comparison here. We don't want to continue the comparison because here we obtained a mismatch and here it returns a negative value. Why? Because by performing the subtraction between the ASCII of this with this, a smaller value minus a larger value, it returns a negative value. This is the case, the second case. Okay, so we can stop the comparison and return a negative value. So consider this. Here it perform a subtraction. While comparing these two values, it perform a subtraction. ASCII of this minus ASCII of this. The ASCII values are equal, so it returns 0. Again, ASCII of this with this. Subtract ASCII of this minus this. So again it returns 0. Now here ASCII of this is not equal to this. But ASCII of this one is greater than ASCII of C because C comes before this D. So this D having ASCII higher ASCII value. So a larger value minus smaller value always return a positive. A non-zero positive integer returns here. So here we obtained a mismatch, so we can stop the comparison at this position. We don't want to compare the characters of next location because in this particular position we obtained a mismatch and it returns a positive integer in this case. So how to obtain this positive integer? By subtracting the ASCII of D by ASCII of C. Means ASCII of D minus ASCII of C. The ASCII of D is always greater than ASCII of C. So it returns a positive value. So it returns that positive integer. So from these statements it is clear that if two strings are equal, then after performing this strcmp function, after executing it, it always returns 0 if the two given strings are equal. Otherwise it returns a negative or a positive integer. Okay, now we can consider the program example. So again we read two strings. One is available in name and another is available in name too. Next, strcmp of name comma name 2. Okay, but here this strcmp after execution returns a 0 or a positive integer or a negative integer. So we need to declare one integer value here. Okay, so after executing this, it return a value, so n equal to that value. The returned value is loaded into this integer variable n now. Now using this, if n equal to 0, we can conclude that Okay, else we can display like this, but printf printf strings are not equal. Okay, now we can stop this program. So now we can execute this. Okay, I'm going to enter the first string as ASDF. Again, going to enter SDF. Strings are not equal here. Okay, one is ASDF and second is SDF. Okay, so the first case itself, first character position itself here obtained a mismatch, so it returns a non-zero value. So it here it is the case strings are not equal. Now we can execute ABC as the first string, again ABC as the second string. So it displayed strings are equal. Okay, so this is the usage of strcmp for comparing two strings, and if the strings are equal it returns as 0, otherwise it returns a non-zero value. Okay, so now we can consider the usage of strlwr of name. Okay, whatever uppercase letters available in this character array, then all are converted into its lower form, and the result is available back into this character array itself. Okay, so consider this is ASD, all are written in capital form. So after executing, sorry, I forgot to display the result value, so puts the name array again. So after converting into its a lowercase form, the result is replaced back into the same character array. Okay, so I'm going to execute this and I'm going to enter everything in its uppercase form, and the result is available in lowercase, and the result is available in the same array. Okay, once again ASTEFG. Okay, some letters are in uppercase and some are in lowercase, so everything is converted into its lowercase format. Okay, so this is the usage of strlwr. Now we can use upr, that means for converting into its uppercase form. Okay, so I'm going to enter some letters in small letter and some letters in capital letters. So what will happen? The expected result is every characters in this array in its uppercase form. So look at here, every characters available in its uppercase form, and again the input character array is replaced with uppercase form of the input string. Same string get updated here. Okay, this is the case of strlwr and strupr function. Okay, so all these are some string manipulation functions. They are commonly using for manipulating our string in C programming.